I was gonna read off of AI and script this, but I'm sorry, real conversations like this can't be scripted because it comes from here. What's up, guys? I'm Vince, and today I want to talk about what it feels like to be stuck, despite putting in all the work, having faith, grinding in this hustle culture in the loud road. You may have all the tools, you may have all the technique, but sometimes it just doesn't work, and it's like you don't feel in a hair. Tell me if you feel that. If you feel that, I want you to make sure you comment that below. But listen, I created this channel to bring some real ones together because it feels like we're a dying breed. It's like there's not many people who are rooted in faith. They want to be vulnerable, but they don't have a place where they can feel and be themselves. And I want to tell you, you're in the right place if that's you. If you're somebody who is looking to get deeply rooted in a community and build and have some real conversations. Today, we're going to talk about the conversations of what it feels like to be stuck. Because I know there's many people, and I'll be honest with you, I feel like that, many times. A lot of times we get stuck in here in our mind, and we end up trying to move in so many directions. I'll speak for myself because I don't want to assume what you're going through. You could tell me that in the comments. But I feel like sometimes in this road where there's just so much noise and direction and criticism and structure and people telling you what you should do, what you shouldn't do, have sleepless nights, especially if you're on a creative journey of building something. And you do those things, but you burn yourself out. And a lot of the times, we're not taking in consideration of how we're wired. We're not taking in consideration of how our situation may differ from that other person. And so we're comparing our journeys to people who are in their chapter 10s, or we're comparing our journeys to people who don't have the same values or faiths as you. And I want you to realize how unique you are. I want you to realize that it's not about just the external, but it starts in the internal before you can attract and make things happen. You may have an idea, you may have this passion that you want to pursue, but if you don't have those values, if you're not in alignment, everything will fall apart. I was thinking, and when I said that AI line, I meant that because this is a new channel. I did start out with trying to put this together to make the perfect title, to make the perfect, I don't even script videos. And I'm like, nah, this got to come from the heart, because it's not just something that is meant to be perfectly orchestrated, but rather to touch and hit you here in the heart. Because I know that there's somebody out there watching this video looking for direction. I know there's somebody out there who doesn't feel they're enough, they don't have enough, and they'll never be enough. And so this is a real conversation and a real reoccurring thing. I know that for myself and my profession as a coach and a creative entrepreneur, I speak to so many different people in their journeys, and they don't think they're enough. And the first thing we do is we unfilter their mind. But I also have been that person who was rooted in a situation where I was doing everything, but I was not putting in the work. But it wasn't just about putting in the work. I didn't have faith. I didn't believe in myself. I had low values where it was so low that I didn't believe I was worth a certain amount. I didn't believe that, I looked at other people as if they were higher, better than me because of their position, how much money they made, what their popularity was. And it made me almost feel like I was a kid again. Like when you're a kid and you're looking at the popular person or this, that, and the third, and you feel like a loner, like an outcast. Tell me if you feel this, because this is a real conversation. I don't know how real it gets, because I know this hits, because these are the real conversations that I have with people like you, And I want to give you some solutions and just not throw on the problem. I'm going to tell you how I turned it up. I got out of my way by finding accountability. But before I found accountability, I had to write down what I was feeling, journaling. I had to write down, what are you currently facing? What do you feel like? I needed to stop acting like a victim. I needed to stop acting like I couldn't save myself. And if I can't save myself, I needed to write down what do I feel would save me. A lot of people think that it's just making more money. It's not always that. A lot of people think that it's about getting this perfect relationship. It's not about that. A lot of people think it's everything external outside of them, but it's not about that. What it's about is that internal belief, that inner conversation that you have with yourself and being real with yourself for once in this world full of fake. Let's go. I'm telling you, I'm dropping heat and nuggets all day. We're going to have real conversations. If you can't take the heat, like literally, if you can't take a real conversation, I'm not going to tell you to get out. I'm going to tell you to get in, get inside of yourself, get inside of here, because there's going to be so many people, so many critics telling you how to live your life. Maybe you have that whisper inside of you to say, this job isn't for me. I want to leave. Stop ignoring that with logic. Yes, you got responsibilities, but does that mean you should just sit in suffering and waste your life as if you got too many tomorrows? No. Does that mean that you should settle for something that's not making you happy? No. But what you should do is declare what it is that you want, how you want to look, how you want to feel, and declare it on paper. That's right. The first thing to getting out of your problems is to put it on paper of what you don't like about your life and what do you want in your life. And then what can you do in your power right now, not in the future, right now, with what it is that you have, or who do you feel can help? A lot of people, they get scared to take risk and chances on themselves because they're afraid. They're afraid of change. They're afraid of opportunity, and they're afraid of going the road that is less traveled. I've been there, read the books, all that stuff. But at the end of the day, it's not just about the books. It's about that conversation with yourself of telling yourself you are enough. I want you to say you are enough. And so something that you could do every day for the next 7 days, I want you to write on a sticky note and declare something as if it happened. Say, I'm so happy that I was able to do this. And I want you to write your name. I want you to say, Vince, how did you manage to accomplish blank? If it's losing weight, how did you manage to accomplish losing over 50 pounds? How did you accomplish making over 6 figures? How did you accomplish, don't that way in your mind, you're literally speaking into existence as if it already happened. So you start showing up as that person. And that is the key of building habits, rituals. Rituals are those healthy habits. What is in the way of the life you want and who you are is the habits that you place. So I'm always trying to open up doors and control things I have no control over. And one of the things I just was reminded of is prayer, the power of prayer. Prayer is so important to have those conversations with God, to literally speak and talk to him. And for those who are, non-believers or have a different thing that they believe in, or faith, I should say, I don't believe in God as a thing, but a spiritual connection. That spiritual connection is key. Honestly, I'm in the process of restoring my faith in the strong, because it's one thing to say that you're down with something and to actually be down and in something. I'm going to say that again. It's one thing to say you're down with something and another to actually be rooted deeply into something. And so I'm learning that. And we're all human. We're not perfect. And it's okay. It's okay not to have everything together, even though everybody's showing you a highlight reel. And what I need you to do is turn the blinders on. I need you to blind out all the noise. I need you to be the first person to talk kind to yourself. I need you to take accountability first thing in the morning by doing that sticky notes, where you're going to take 5 sticky notes, 3 to 5. Write 3 to 5 kind things about yourself. That's all. Because you're in a road where you're going to be your biggest cheerleader. I hate to tell you that, but it's true. And then the people who are following you are going to have conditions. It's going to be after you accomplish something. It's going to be after you do something, So I need you to rock with you at all times through the highs and lows. Can you do that for me? Great. I'm glad we're on the same page. I just want you to know that you're enough. I want you to know that you may not have everything that you need, but you can position yourself to get in that place of doing that. And it all starts with you. But more importantly, it starts with God. It starts with literally putting in that faith to know and declare what is possible and what you're going to have. Whatever you're going through is not forever. And so I want to show y'all something that's very important. Well, I don't know if I could show y'all because it's going to mess up the camera, but I'll put it on the screen. I literally wrote this down when I went to church. Like I said, restoring my faith as a Christian. And I was reading Romans 12 too. Mind you, I'm not super religious. I don't know everything, but I had to write this down. This is why you have to write down what's important, because you don't want to put too much pressure on this thing, your mind. And that's what this talks about. You know, it says, do not conform in the pattern of a world, but be transformed by the renewing of the mind. Then you will be able to test and appreciate God's will. What does that mean? We're going on a deep level. What that means is you have to renew your mind. You have to transform your mind to get rooted into what God has for you, for your destiny, for your faith, for your family, for everything for you. So until you renew your mind, until you have that conversation, not just with God, but with you, nothing's going to happen. And I mean this. I'm not just saying this. This isn't for likes. This isn't for subscribers. This isn't for the gimmicks and all that stuff. This is a real conversation with a real person. And I hope that you're looking me in the eye and you're watching this and you're telling yourself and you're like, I got to do something. I got to change something. I'm going to do something. I'm not here to talk too much about myself, but I do want to say this. I have so many testimonies of people that have transformed their lives around, and it's great and all. And I've seen where they started, and I didn't do it too much for myself. So what that means is don't overextend yourself to everybody to where you're abandoning you. You got to stop abandoning you and start being more for you. I'm not saying to be selfish though either. All right. I want you to love yourself. I want you to tell yourself how much you love yourself. Actually, if you do me a favor in the comments, tell me one thing that you really love about you. A lot of times it'll be like, I love my family. I love my dog. I love this. I love that. I love my job. No, what's something that you love about you? Tell me. Tell us. What do you love about you? Whatever, put your name in there. And then everyone in there, I want you to connect. I want you to literally like that person's comment and then cheer them on their journey. And then we're not all perfect. I want y'all to put something you're struggling with as well in a separate comment to say, I'm currently struggling with this, so that we can uplift and bring each other together in a place where we're having real conversations. Listen, I'm going to end this here, but we're going to continue this conversation. Only way to continue is if you show up. So please make sure that you subscribe to this family where we're going to continue to have conversations for the real. Thank you so much for watching this. I appreciate y'all, and I look forward to talking to y'all soon. One love. Peace.